Well, good afternoon and welcome to San Antonio, Texas, here on the campus of Trinity University. And today's Game 3 of the series between the Birmingham Southern Panthers and the Trinity University Tigers. Both teams picking up a win earlier in this series. They'll be going for the series outright here as we get started. I'm Josh Michigamba, joined by Ryan Figert. Chris Garagiola's vocal cords are getting the day off, and we'll take you through the lineups here in just a moment. But Chris, first, your thoughts on how this series has gone so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an interesting series between two perennial contenders in NCAA Division III. First game, it was a bit of sloppiness on the mound and behind the plate. There was walks and there was wild pitches that contributed, but in the end, it was the Panthers that were able to come through and survive a late rally in the ninth inning when the Tigers left the bases loaded. And then yesterday it was the shutout victory for the home team. As we're about to get you underway here, they finished that one 5-0 after a stellar performance from starting pitcher James Natoli.
And wasting no time is going to be Stedman as he steps up and hits the first pitch of the game out into left center and puts it right in front of Meredith. And Mason Meredith, responsible for 8 outs yesterday in center field, had 4 in a row in the 8th and 9th innings. But right now, Birmingham Southern with runner on. We haven't even gotten to our pitcher, Matt Thomas, for the Tigers. Thomas coming in, just 1.2 innings pitched last week against Cortland. As that pitch in there for a strike. 1.2 innings pitched, finished with a 16.20 ERA, giving up 3 earned runs. He walked 2 and struck out 2. So looking for a better go here in his second outing of the season.
Yeah, not only is it just his second outing of the season, he didn't get a start last season. He came in as a reliever in his 6 appearances, went 11.2 innings pitched, and ended with an ERA of 6.17. So a big opportunity here for Matt Thomas to maybe find his way into the Tiger rotation.
Batting for the Panthers is Brian Williams. Williams just batting 100 on the season. 1 for 10 overall. As a runner on, nobody out. Thomas's pitch swung on and missed. And the count now 1-2. Birmingham Southern coming into this game now 2-3 overall. They went 1-2 in an early season matchup at LaGrange. Trinity, of course, 2-0 over Cortland last weekend to start the series, or to start the season, as Williams stays alive, fouls that one off. And they lost Game 3 of the year. That was the first game on Friday night against Birmingham Southern. And the Panthers erupting for 6 runs after the 6th inning and really giving the Tiger bullpen fits. They won that game by a score of 7-5. And then yesterday, behind James Natoli's 8 1/3 innings of shutout ball, followed by Arjun Thacker's 2-out appearance in the 9th. They get the shutout, and they won that one 5-0. Stedman on first. Thomas looks in. The 1-2 is high. Stedman goes, and unable to get a good grip on that is our catcher, and that's John Tucker. He's filling in today for Michael Goodrich. Goodrich getting the day off. And Goodrich a little bit struggles at the plate this year.
Yeah, Tucker, one of the big contributors at the plate for the Tigers, so they're just finding a way to keep him in the lineup, putting him behind the plate.
Still showing 1-2 on the scoreboard, but I think it's 2-2 now to Williams as that pitch was high. And it's going to be a called strike 3, and Williams is down on strikes. As I look at Stedman still over there on first base. So I don't know what the situation was on that last play. As if you follow this series, Chris Garagiola has mentioned the light pole right in front of the batter. So a little sometimes difficult to see. Ryan's got a better view of some of this. As that one is laced back up the middle. And going first to third is going to be Stedman. The throw to third is going to be just a tad late. And that's a single for Will Toner Will Toner came in batting .222 with a home run and 2 RBI. And just like Stedman, he takes that first pitch and laces it back up the middle.
Yeah, Stedman going there all the way. Was committed to trying to get to third, and it was a good throw coming in from center field from Meredith, but just a bit behind him.
Well, that'll bring up Wise. Wise batting .350 on the season. He's got 1 down, runners on the corners. No home runs, no RBI, so in a good spot to get his first RBI right here. And if you're a Tigers fan, you're looking at Matt Thomas saying, trust your middle infielders, roll the double play, and let's go to the bottom half. First pitch misses, ball 1.
Yeah, if you look at Thomas's career in a Trinity uniform, he's consistently gotten 1 or more strikeouts per inning on average. So if he could maybe find one of those and take the pressure off the Tiger defense for the third out.
Now struggling, 2-0, and that's going to prompt a visit from Tigers pitching coach Dave Smith here early. Now with Tigers not having to use much of their bullpen, as I mentioned, Arjun Thacker came in for just 2 batters yesterday. James Natoli really helping out the Tigers here, allowing them to preserve those arms in case they need them today. Obviously, Coach Smith is pointing off to the dugout or to the bullpen, saying, "Look, I don't want to have to go down there if we don't need to, And if we can get you a couple of innings here, we'll be in great position here for the rest of the day. But willing to go down there early if we need to, and they did that last week as Thomas struggled against Cortland. Officially now 2 innings pitched on the season for Thomas. As the pep talk concludes. And it's going to be interesting back there for Tucker as well, making his first start at catcher on the season. Trying to think back in my memory if he played catcher last year at all, and I don't think he did. Tigers had Goodrich and Parker Cormack, who was a very fine defensive catcher. Also had a pretty good year at the plate. There wasn't a whole lot of opportunity for Tucker to go behind the dish, and now Thomas, as you would expect, the first pitch, a fastball down the middle after that meeting. 2-1. Swing and a miss, now 2-2. Coach Smith telling me earlier that when Thomas is on top of his game, he can touch 90. And they expect him to probably be there maybe within the next 2 to 3 weeks, if not a little bit sooner. That one just past the glove of Metz into left field. Stedman will come home and score the game's first run, and the Panthers are on the board 1-0 here in the first.
Yeah, Thomas is going to be disappointed with that when he forced the ground ball and it just managed to sneak its way past MJ Metz when there's a chance there to turn 2 and get out of the inning.
So an RBI for Wise, and that'll bring up Tyler Hamill. Hamill, 1 home run on the season. That was a big one. Tigers remember that one on Friday night. He's got 2 RBI, and he's batting .308. The left-hander will square off against Thomas here with 2 on for Birmingham Southern with 1 down here in the top of the first. Nice opening pitch on this at-bat there from Thomas. A little bit of a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Hamill, the designated hitter today. Fouls that one back. Now Thomas quickly ahead 0-2. Bit of a windy day. You can probably hear it a little bit in the crowd mic there. And heard from Jake Martin as I was walking around the field earlier. So this has got to be the first time that he can remember that the sun was out and the wind was blowing in from the north here in San Antonio. Swing and a miss, but it looks like he got a piece of it, so he'll stay alive at 0-2. And going back to Martin, I think he's got to be right. I can't recall very many days where the wind just blows in on a otherwise beautiful day here in South Texas.
Yeah, I don't think it'll play a huge role in this one as the flags are not too active out there in center field, but somebody can get under it. We'll see how the ball plays. I think the Panthers will have some real confidence here, having scored in the first. Their earliest run in this series came in the 5th of Game 1, obviously shut out yesterday, so perhaps feel that, maybe they have something here against Matt Thomas on the mound.
And after a couple of pitches for strikes and a foul ball, Thomas looking to have Hamill chase something, and so far not doing it, and the count now 2-2. Thomas has his defense behind him. It's Brian Cardone over at first base, Logan Morrison at second base, and Jack Wisniewski at shortstop. And Metz over at third. There's a pitch, and that's going to be called strike 3. And that's the second strikeout of the inning for for Thomas as he strikes out Hamill.
Batting sixth, left fielder, number 8, Corey Price.
I'll bring up the left fielder, Corey Price. On the season, Price batting .267, a home run, 3 RBI. That's getting some decent production from down in the bottom of the order. Left-hander sends that one foul. And just foul, unfortunate for Trinity. As that one gets all the way down the left field line. Looking at scoring at least one. Price will step back in and do it again.
And so far in this first inning, it seems like the hitters, when they have made contact, it's been low and hard. A couple of singles that we saw go up the middle were also on the ground. It's just been a matter of finding the gaps for the Panther hitters.
The 0-1 from Thomas. Breaking ball just misses. Now 1-1. It's Wise at first. Toner at second for the Panthers. Thomas delivers. That one catches. Now 1-2. Matt Thomas a strike away from getting out of the inning. Bringing the Tigers up to the plate here in the bottom of the first. Corey Price looking to do some more damage. It's a nice pitch that misses on the outer half. Evens the count now at 2. And Thomas will step off. Big pitch here for Thomas. Looking to keep it to be a strike. If the count goes full, the runners will be going. And a base hit into the gap has the opportunity to bring not just one in, but the possibility of bringing Wise in all the way from first as well. The 2-2, and we will go full here with 2 down in the top of the first. Long wait here from Thomas and Price. As Thomas looks in a little bit further. Gets a call from Tucker. Now he delivers. Swing and a miss. And it's not the most conventional way to strike out the side, but Matt Thomas has done it. But the Panthers strike for 1 run on 3 hits. They left 2 on. Tigers committed no errors. We'll go to the bottom of the first where the Tigers will come up to the plate. We'll introduce you to the starting lineup when we return here in a moment on the Tiger Network. And welcome back. Bottom of the first here. Logan Morrison, the second baseman for the Tigers, steps in. First pitch is going to be low, and that comes from Shirley. And John Michael Shirley, a 6'4", 190 senior from Mobile, Alabama. And that one's called strike one, so now they count 1-1 on Morrison. For Shirley, 4 1/3 innings pitched. He's ERA sitting at 2.08, gave up 1 earned run against LaGrange, and that one misses just low. So not getting the call there. The 2-1. Morrison hits it on the ground. Nice little chopper over to short. Having to make a nice dig over there. At first was wise as Granier's throw one hops him. And Morrison is retired to start the bottom of the first. Shirley had 4 Ks and 3 walks in his first appearance this season. I'll bring up Jake Martin. Martin for the Tigers. Hitting .368. He misses down low for ball 1. Shirley working with a little bit of tempo here. Off-speed pitch has Martin way out in front. Now 1-1. And again, Shirley quick with the delivery, misses outside. We were talking about that during the break a little bit. Matt Thomas sort of taking a little bit longer, and we'll touch more on that when he returns. John Michael Shirley just receiving the ball back from the catcher and letting it fly. Hit back up the middle. Jake Martin, he continues to hit the ball very well here in 2019. He's got the first hit of the afternoon for Trinity. And he'll be on for the reigning SCAC hitter of the week, John Tucker.
This is a 1-2 duo that we've seen really successfully so far throughout the early season. It was in the Cortland game when Jake Martin went 3 for 5 and scored 3 times. That was the first matchup. In the second matchup, it was John Tucker, who had 5 RBIs. So it's a continuous theme of Martin getting on and Tucker bringing him home.
Shirley's first pitch low. So he's working quickly when he was dealing from his windup. We'll see how he does now with a runner on first. Runner goes. It's going to be a hit and run, and that one put all the way down third base line. That's going to stay fair, and a beautiful job by John Tucker.
Base hit for John Tucker.
And Tigers have 2 aboard here with 1 down in the first.
Yeah, it was the third baseman, Preston Munn. He was just hoping and praying that would hit maybe a divot and roll over the foul line, and never did. And now it gives a chance for Cardone with 2 on.
And Brian Cardone stepping in now for Trinity. Not his first appearance of the season. That came earlier. He threw 1 pitch off the mound and gave up a double and was quickly sent back to the showers. But playing first base today, and this will be his first at-bat of the season. And he ropes this one into right field. They're going to hold Martin at third, and it's bases loaded here quickly for Trinity.
Yeah, very different fortunes there from Cardone on the first pitch compared to when he was on the mound. First pitch swinging with a solid contact out here into right field. And there's 1 RBI.
It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Brandon Caraway. Caraway batting .571 here in 2019. Limited action, just 4 of 7. But he's looking to extend that. And if he does, it'll put the Tigers presumably at least squared up, likely out in front 2-1. Shirley deals. This one lifted into the air. It's going to be short into left. Running over there is Price. He's got it. There's going to be a play at the plate. Martin comes home. The relay throw isn't going to be thrown. Nice cutoff there from Shirley, and the Tigers have tied this game. Caraway will get the sack fly, and it is 1-1. So you mentioned Birmingham Southern getting that early lead for the first time, but the Tigers able to answer right back. I'll bring up Metz. And the first-year third baseman for Trinity, batting just 188. But he brings a 6'4", 210 frame up to the plate here against John Michael Shirley. And that one catches the corner outside. Now 0-1 here with 2 down in the first.
Yeah, and with Metz, I think it's just an adjustment period here, getting into college baseball. He's obviously someone that the coaching staff loves as a first year, getting tons of minutes out there on the hot corner. And offensively, I think it's just a matter of time before we start seeing production.
Throwback on first, and Cardone's able to get back just ahead of the throw. Hunt throwing behind the runner, and Wise not able to receive the ball just in time. Cardone getting back just probably about a hand's length ahead of that throw. First and second for Trinity. Swing and a foul tip. I believe it's now 2-1 here on Metz. Shirley has definitely slowed down a little bit now that the runners have been on. Not working with as much of a groove. Might have to do with the fact that they've got runners on second. This one slapped over to Munns at third base, and he'll quickly tag the bag at third, take the force out, and Birmingham Southern is out of the bottom of the first. But Tigers match Birmingham Southern to a T. 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on. And after 1 complete, we'll be back looking to see who wants to take charge of this one, because so far they're playing pretty square as they've done all through this series. Top of the second, and he just made the play in the field to take them off of defense. Preston Munns, the third baseman, comes up, and he's coming up swinging on Matt Thomas's first pitch. Comes up empty, and it'll be strike 1.
For Thomas, we'll look to see if he starts to create a bit more rhythm. He ended up striking out the side after giving up that run in the first inning. But we noticed a bit of a pause in his delivery when he came set. And we'll see if he continues that or maybe he starts to settle in a bit more. Not a traditional starter for this Tiger team, so maybe he just needs to get comfortable himself in this role.
Well, he seems to be working just a touch quicker, and he's throwing more balls for strikes. And we saw him with 0-2 counts earlier in the first inning, and he started to nibble around the strike zone. Chris had made a good point during the break that typically you're not going to get a whole lot of the calls when you start missing badly off the plate, and when you're trying to nibble around it, as that one slapped over to Metz, he'll fire over to Cardone, and Munz is down here in the top of the second, 5-3. You need to start throwing some more strikes, even if they're pitches that are hittable and they get hit, if you want to receive some of those borderline calls for called strike threes. Now, that is the first out of the game for Thomas that wasn't a strikeout. So he looks to know a little bit about what he's doing. This will bring up Hunt, the catcher, batting .235 on the season. A.J. Hunt, senior from Memphis, Tennessee. First pitch swinging. It's going to be over the middle, but Morrison's there. Quick throw over to Cardone, and Tigers have 2 away here in the top of the second. These 7, 8, 9 hitters really jumping on that first pitch of Matt Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas continues to get ground ball looks for his defense here. In the first, it seemed like they were finding the gaps. Now it's been a bit more playable for the infield.
Alfredo Grenier, the shortstop, sophomore from Atlanta, Georgia. Another first pitch strike for Matt Thomas, and he was a little shaky in that first inning, but he has found his groove here so far in the second. That one put on for a bunt. Thomas and Metz colliding. And that'll go down as an infield single for Grenier.
Yeah, really awkward play there. It seemed like we needed a bit more communication from maybe Metz coming in, or if the pitcher was going to take it. Either way, they couldn't decide. They ended up coming together like that.
Yeah, and Grenier's got enough speed on that one to leg it out. I think even if Thomas doesn't get bumped on that one, he's going to have to make one incredible throw, turning around pretty much off his back heel. If Metz would have been able to field that one, he was a step behind it, though. If he'd have been able to field it, there's a chance, but it's going to have to be a perfect throw down over to Cardone at first. And with Grenier's speed, I just don't think you're going to get him there. So at that point, if you're Trinity, just try not to get injured. Tucker again with the trouble getting the ball on the release from the glove, and Grenier's got a swipe of second.
Grenier looks really quick here on the base pass. Could be a threat to score from second if they're able to find the ball into the outfield here.
Stedman took the first pitch of the game and put it into left center for a single. Came into the game batting .368. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Called strike. Now 2-1. Thomas starts to take a little bit longer, and that one's floated out into right. Martin tracking, and he'll have a play on it. And that will do it here in the top of the second. Birmingham Southern gets a bunt single, but they can't do anything more. They strand Grenier at second base. And we go to the midway point of the second. Tigers coming up, looking to strike and potentially take the lead here at Trinity University. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom of the second, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Trinity. That's going to be Wisniewski, Meredith, and Vonderhaar. And stepping up, Jack Wisniewski, batting .357, has 3 RBIs here on the first 4 games of the season. First pitch from Shirley's in there for strike 1. Wisniewski taking over the shortstop role for Trinity this year. So he hits that one to his counterpart, and that's bobbled, and then Grenier can't get the throw cleanly, and I'm sure that's going to go down as an error. Question is it going to be on the throw or on the fielding position? They're going to say E6 throwing error.
Yeah, it looked like he did bobble the ball, but he had plenty of time to get it there. The throw came in a bit too low for Wise at first.
So, leadoff man on for Trinity. They'll take it any way they can get it. It brings up Mason Meredith. Meredith batting just .267 on the season. He lays down the bunt. Wisniewski breaking on that, and he's easily into second. Shirley gave him a look, but decides to go over to Wise at first. And a great sack bunt there from Meredith. I'm sure he would have loved to have pushed it one way or the other, but effective nonetheless.
Yeah, it looked like there was almost a play there against Wisniewski at second, but despite the bunt coming right back up the middle, it was effective enough to push the runner.
Bring up Jack Vonderhaar. Vonderhaar 0 for 2 on the season. Not enough at bats for me to say he's batting 0-0-0. So
yeah, that'd be a bit harsh, I think.
Bit harsh after just 2 at bats. Got the start yesterday. Again here today. Taking over in left field, Rafe Shamet's normal roaming area. Big swing and a miss there from Vonderhaar. Shamet, as we saw in yesterday's broadcast, had a little trouble. He was going into third base. Didn't quite feel right. Eventually got taken out, I believe, in the 7th inning of that game. Getting the day of rest today. Vonderhaar lifts that one into right, going back on it and looking up and watching it sail over the fence will be the right fielder, and Stedman could do nothing about it. And Vonderhaar with his first home run of the season, hitting it just over the 318 sign out in right. And the Tigers lead 3-1.
Made really good contact there. Vanderhaar just got it barely over the right field wall. And he's able to bring Wisniewski at home as well. So Tigers take the 3-1 lead here.
That'll take us to the top of the order. The Tigers score 3 their first time through, and that's fantastic news for a team hitting just .268 coming into this game. Logan Morrison in his second AB today, 0 for 1.
Quickly falls down in the count, 0-2 here.
Grounded out to Grenier at short in his first at bat. And he basically does it again. That's going to be an E6 on Grenier again. And a rough outing for the shortstop for the Panthers. That one, he fielded it cleanly, and I think it just got stuck, maybe either in the webbing or he's talking it over with his second baseman.
I think that one's going to be scored as a base hit. It was a tough play for Grenier, especially with the speed of Morrison. So he'll be happy to not be responsible for that one.
So either way, Morrison on, and Jake Martin comes to the plate. Martin with a single up the middle in his first at bat. Batting here with a runner on and one down.
A lot of first pitch strikes here for Shirley coming out in the second inning.
Yeah, a little bad luck for Shirley. Gives up the long ball and then has the routine out just kind of escape him. That's been changed to a hit. So Morrison now 1 for 2 on the day. That one, base hit past third baseman Munns. A little hot shot to the corner at third. And Martin now 2 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, another ball that was hit hard in the infield. It was playable for Munns, I think, but it would have taken a really quick reaction time there. It's been fine margins out there. You think there's 3 outs to be had, and they haven't really capitalized on only one of them.
Jan Weisberg, I think just trying to settle down Shirley right now. He's pitched pretty well. I mean, you give up one bad pitch on the long ball to Vonderhaar. Everything else has been hit on the infield, and from a pitching's perspective, that's all you really want to do is let the guys behind you make the plays, not giving up big shots into the gap right now. So a little bit of bad luck for John Michael Shirley. And they're kind of working against them, and baseball is just such a mental game that just settle them down, let them know you've got an out, got a double play position. But you got John Tucker up, and if you're the Tigers, you're thinking, how can you extend this 3-1 lead? Because one of the hottest hitters in the entire country is at the dish for you right now.
You have to be wondering how that home run is weighing on the mind of Shirley. It's just the 5th home run he's given up in his career at Birmingham Southern. Today is his 41st appearance. So a rare occurrence that someone goes deep off of Shirley.
Look, Morrison back at second. Tucker 1 for 1 today. Had that hit down the left field line. He's batting .500 on the season. From the stretch, Shirley not working as quickly, and that one misses. Now 1-1. John Tucker, the senior from Houston, puts that one back up the middle. Grenier takes it, touches second, fires over to Wise at first, and he'll take the double play, 6-3. And that's a huge play for Birmingham Southern, and a bigger player for John Michael Shirley as he can go back to the bench and try not to think about what the second inning was. For the Tigers, 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error, and there were 2 left on. And so after 2 complete, Trinity's got the 3-1 lead. Birmingham Southern will be looking to answer when we come back for the top of the third. Welcome back for the top of the third, and in the 2 spot, Brian Williams steps in for Birmingham Southern.
Big curveball there on the first pitch. Thought it might have found the top of the zone. Umpire disagreed.
Williams, who struck out looking in his first at-bat, happy to be ahead 2-0 now here with Thomas. Thomas fires back with a straight line fastball. Have a absolute perfect day here for baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Just checking the weather in San Antonio, listed at 69 and just 26% humidity, so can't ask for much more, especially in comparison to what we were dealing with last weekend in the showdown with Cortland when conditions were pretty much despisable out there.
Yeah, and it's practically dry if the humidity is only around 26% here in San Antonio. Williams takes the walk, and he'll be at first. Cardone will hold him on. Will Toner, second baseman, who singled up the middle in his first at-bat, will step in against Thomas. And we saw a lot of strikes last inning from Thomas, and starts off with that leadoff walk, and now behind 1-0 here. The Toner, just very inconsistent from Thomas. Although he did work all the way through the second. As Williams goes, a hit and run, that one slapped into the Tigers dugout area, so foul ball will send Williams back. He did make it to the second through the second inning, and that's as far as he's gotten so far here in 2019. Of course, 1 2/3 innings in his first appearance against Cortland, so working a little bit deeper. Being out there on the mound, not the same as doing it in a scrimmage. And that one fouled off the exact same spot that he did the last time, so Toner now behind 1-2.
Yeah, if he pulls that anymore, he's going to send everyone on the Tiger bench diving left and right. Maybe give someone a chance to flash the leather over there. They're sitting relatively close without anything between them and the play.
Oh, it misses. Yeah, the baseball field here at Trinity has undergone some significant changes over the past couple of years. The new outfield wall installed last season. Working their way around the park to make some changes. I'm sure one of the ones that they'd like to do is that throwback over to first. Williams back in at time. One of the changes that they'd like to do is probably get rid of the standing dugouts that we have here and maybe actually get something dug out into the ground. Maybe more of a natural ballpark feel. Swing and a miss. Toner will be down on strikes. And there's going to be one down here in the third.
Yeah, I think the next thing they want to add specifically as you look out over that right field wall is another one of those national championship posters that stands out there in right field. Of course, the Tigers won it in 16 after going to the World Series in the 15 season as well. Plenty of talent, plenty of experience on this Tiger roster to make a deep run like that. And if everything comes together, maybe we'll see another one of those starting next season.
Williams will swipe second as Wise steps up to the plate. Wise a single and an RBI in the first. Now he's got a runner in scoring position again here with just one down. Yeah, and I think one of the things that's going to help Trinity, and I don't know if this, it's hard to tell whether or not a team is a national championship caliber team, especially this early in the season. You look at a program like Birmingham Southern, you look at a program like Trinity, and then you look at a program like Cortland, who we saw last week. And what you know is that, hey, this is a historically good program that expects to be at a regional. And when you get to a regional, you want to just find your way there, see if you can escape out of the regional and make it to the College World Series. I mean, that's every team's goal at some point. That one slapped over to Morrison, and he'll take the easy out at first over to Cardone. Wise will be retired. There'll be 2 outs for Hamill and a runner on third as Williams moves up 90 feet. So you've got teams that are accustomed to being in a regional. And, you talk about the banner over there in right field. I think one of the things that may mean more to this program, over in left field by the scoreboard, you've got on the wall a list of all the NCAA regionals. When Trinity started going to the regional in 2002, big swing and a miss from the big left-hander, they were a team that was sort of like every other year. It was 2002, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2010. And those are some great teams, but it was just sort of a program starting to develop, a program starting to find itself, going out there on the recruiting trail and bringing in guys that are going to help plug in and replace the seniors that you lose the year before. But in 2010, everything changed. They went from 2010 to 2016 consecutively. And then, of course, that 2016 team had so many seniors on it that you knew that it was basically, you try to restock, but it was a rebuild. And you had some guys that had a little bit of playing time. But when you have a team that goes 44-7, as this one, slapped up the middle, and that'll make it 3-2. And Hamill's got an RBI. Let's see how Thomas reacts now with 2 down after giving up a run, as Williams comes in to score. And that's this group of players here for Trinity. They were the group that were, the seniors were freshmen on that championship team. And so a lot of high hopes. You've got some guys who are there, and they kind of have been through that process, but Trinity, a team that hasn't been to a regional in 2 years, even though they've had a stretch from late March of 2017 to early April of 2018 where they were 50-9 overall. But just unlucky in the tournament for the SCAC and not getting the automatic bid, and not having a schedule that was indicative of something that was worthy of maybe going to the NCAA regionals as an large team.
Yeah, I think the Tiger team fell a bit hard done by at the end of last season when they didn't get that bid based off of their body of work. But the easiest thing for you to do is, well, not the easiest thing for you to do, but the thing that will guarantee you that spot is winning your conference. And, of course, it just didn't come together last season, the SCAC tournament. Tigers haven't won the conference since that 2016 season. So that'll be aim number 1 as we enter into conference play here in the next month.
Well, Matt Thomas's day is done, and Coach Smith making the quick change over to the big sophomore from Sacramento, California. We'll get you caught up with Corey Cater in just a moment. When we return, we'll take a short break while he warms up and be right back. You're watching the Tiger Network. It's Trinity and Birmingham Southern. We'll be back in just a moment.
Welcome back here to San Antonio, where we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. It's Corey Cater, the Sacramento, California native, sophomore who graduated from Valley Christian Academy out in California.
And Corey Cater making a second appearance on the season. Went 2 2/3 against Cortland last week. Gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits. Had 4 strikeouts and a walk. His ERA is currently sitting at 6.75. As a freshman, though, he was absolutely fantastic for Trinity. The first pitch swinging down the right field line and past Jake Martin. That'll score a run. That'll be charged to Thomas, and it's going to be a double for Birmingham Southern as they now have tied the game at 3. And Corey Price, the left fielder, goes down the right field line. And if you wanted some exciting back and forth baseball, today may be your day. As both of these teams taking advantages when they have them.
Yeah, we got a lot of back and forth in the first game between these two teams, where it was from the 5th to the 9th inning. Both teams seemed like they were going to score every inning. That's what we've had here early on.
Preston Munns grounded out to MJ Metz in the second inning. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner on, scoring position. Pitch from Cater, catches. Now it's 0-2. Get a good look at the third baseman for the Panthers, bringing an excellent stash into the 2019 season. Lofts that one high into center, and Meredith, with a little bit of swirling winds, finally gets a good read on it, and he'll gather it in, and that'll end the threat. But 2 runs on 2 hits, there were no errors, and there was 1 left on. And after 2.5, we are tied back at 3. We'll see if the Tigers have an answer when we come back for the bottom of the third. Bottom of the third, and the cleanup hitter for Trinity stepping into the plate. Brian Cardone had a single into right field his last at-bat. John Michael Shirley still out there dealing for the Panthers. First pitch taken for a ball. As we mentioned, Cardone making his second appearance on the season. His first appearance was a 1-pitch situation where he gave up a double as he stepped onto the mound, playing over at first base today. Nice off-speed pitch there for swinging strike, and fortunate for Shirley that Cardone completely missed at that one because that had a home run swing written all over it. The 1-2 misses outside. Cater came in, gave up the 1-pitch double. I'm sure Cardone had to be thinking to himself, like what? Don't we pull guys for this? But not to be, as we'll see Cater back out there for the 4th inning here in just a bit.
Yeah, certainly different situation compared to when Cardone came into the game. Looks like Cater has been brought in to hopefully go a couple for this Tiger pitching staff.
And out in front of that one, he'll be 1 for 2 on the season as he goes down on strikes here in the third inning.
Batting fifth, the designated
I'll bring up MJ Metz, or excuse me, Brandon Caraway. Metz will be on deck. Caraway reached on the sack, or excuse me, he didn't reach. Had the RBI on the sac fly out into left field. First pitch misses up top for a ball. Caraway still batting .571 as that sac fly won't count against him. Now quickly ahead 2-0. Pops that one up. It looks like it could be out of play, giving chase as Munns. And it floats back in, and Carroll will be down. 1 second out of the inning.
Good job from the Tiger bench there to get out of the way as it all cleared to make way for the third baseman to make his play.
Yeah, tricky ground rules here at Trinity. They've got a little carpeted area that kind of runs like a trapezoid area out in front of the dugout where it is dead ball territory, and the team can be on that. They don't have to move too far away. You can kind of see it from that last angle there. Yeah, this is MJ Metz. And if it hits onto that, player doesn't have to retreat or give way. Obviously, Munns could go into that area, try to snatch it if he doesn't have anybody standing in his path. The players over the years have taken every bit of liberty right up to the line of that little carpeted section. That's just batting 176. He's quickly out ahead 3-0. .3-0, 3-3 game here in the third. Shirley walks him on 4 pitches.
Yeah, and that's really not ideal there for John Michael Shirley, as Metz is not hitting the ball well here in the early season, and he gives him a free base.
They'll bring up Wisniewski. Got a shortstop whose natural nickname should just be the Wiz. Batting .333 on the year.
Beat out the throwing error to reach base and eventually came around to score in the second inning.
One and 0 to the sophomore. Now Shirley misses high. Shirley not as effective from the stretch. Hunt's going to go out there and have a quick word with him. And I think in large part, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, the rhythm that he has from the windup is completely different than when he's got a runner on.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just want to look at it statistically with runners on, the Tigers hitting 4 for 6 here against Shirley, as opposed to overall just 6 for 12. I say just 6 for 12. That's still 500. But they are hitting a bit better when they have runners on, with runners in scoring position, 2 for 4.
The 2-0. He'll get that one at the knees. Now 2-1. Metz, a third baseman who's 6'4", 210. I doubt he's any threat to run here, especially with 2 outs. And a good hitting Wisniewski at the plate. Meredith is on deck.
Seemed like Shirley disagreed with you there as he throws over to just to check on Metz. Certainly takes a big lead just with 2 steps.
Takes a big lead with 2 steps, and he can just fall back over and reach first base from about 15 feet away, it seems like. That one fouled off. He doesn't count 2-2. You sometimes see pitchers get more intrigued with the runner over at first, particularly when they've got 2 outs. That one swung on, just got a piece of it, and it fouls it off. Wisniewski will try it again. The 2-2 misses, and the count's going to run full. Metz will be off on the pitch.
Yeah, it's really good work there from Wisniewski just to check the swing as it looked enticing initially there, but he's able to pull back. Stays alive in the count. We'll see Met's speed here on the base path as he'll be going.
That one pops straight up. The dugout goes running again. Hunt gives chase. And I think he just lost it, as that one was right up against the chain link fence and then took the short hop over where the fence ends. Maybe that was just right outside. I couldn't tell from where that was. And we'll do the full count all over again. Not the greatest jump from Metz, but see if he can improve on it this time. We'll see if Shirley can get him to hesitate just a bit here. Kind of did. And that's going to be ball 4 anyway, so now we've got 2 on with 2 out for Meredith.
Yeah, real problems here for the Panthers pitchers. He's got to 2 outs, and now he's gave the Tigers another look here with 2 walks. Tigers only had 1 opportunity so far with 2 outs. Just 0 for 1. Of course, there's a double play that makes that stat possible as we're into the 3rd inning. A big opportunity here for Meredith. Officially listed still at 0 for 0 as he had the sacrifice his last time up in the 2nd. As you can see on your screen, Shirley already up at 52 pitches. He's not out of the 3rd. Isn't ideal for the big right-hander.
Not ideal, but pitch 53, pretty effective right there. Takes everything off of it and gets Meredith way out in front. Tigers do like to jump on pitches.
Seen quite a bit of first pitch swing. We saw Cardone single on that big first swing earlier on.
The 0-2 in the dirt. No, but good job by Hunt to keep it there. A little bit of back and forth dancing between Grenier and Toner, trying to keep Metz on at 2nd. That one laced out into right center, but giving chase is Williams, but he's going to defer to Stedman, who's got an easy play on it. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the 3rd. The Tigers threaten to put 2 on. They got to strand them both. As we go to the 4th, we're all tied 3-3, watching the Tiger Network here from Trinity University.
Bottom of the order due up here for the Panthers. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Facing the Tiger reliever Corey Cater, who relieved for the third out in the third inning.
A.J. Hunt digs in and count now 1-1. For Hunt, he grounded out to second base in his first at-bat. Called strike. Tigers Cater from Sacramento, California. And one of the things about Trinity is historically a team that recruits from all over, but pretty heavy in the West over the years. A lot of kids from the Arizona, California, Washington area. That one slapped over to Wisniewski, over to Cardone, and one away here in the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. You go down this Tiger roster, and it's just a testament to what you just said. Plenty of California, plenty of Arizona as well. MJ Metz, just the latest in that pipeline, native of San Diego, standing over at third base.
It'll be Grenier for the Panthers coming in, the 9-hole hitter. Got a single on the bunt, his first at-bat, and that's when Thomas collided with Metz.
Looks like 1 through 44, just studying the roster here. Ian Hushin, the only one not from the West. So good shot from you there, Josh. Native
That
of
one.
Minnesota.
Hot shot over to Metz. Nice little backhand play. And the San Diego native makes it look easy. And we got two down here. Corey Cater working pretty quickly.
Top of the order, right fielder number 26, Cole.
Yeah, Hushin from Minnesota. Not exactly sure how he found his way to Trinity, though we've had some great success with the upper north. Had Canadian from just north of Minnesota, Carter McEachern, and Corey Cater. We can't even have a conversation here. He's working too quick. Corey Stedman lines out to Meredith,
For the Panthers, top of the fourth inning.
and on 6 pitches, Corey Cater is out of the fourth. We'll be back for the bottom of the fourth in just a moment. Tigers will have Vonderhaar, who had a 2-run homer his last time up, leading off. Bottom of the fourth here for Trinity, and so far the biggest hit of the game has come from Jack Vonderhaar, and he'll step in against John Michael Shirley. Shirley up to 55 pitches as we start the fourth. Vonderhaar's 2-run homer clearing the right field fence.
That was the first home run on the season for the Tigers.
And the first bombs away for Bombay, the local promotion here at the stadium. Lucky fans that are here enter their name to win. Tigers hit a home run, get free food over at Bombay's. Of course, alumni, probably very familiar with Bays, the very popular local hangout. Just crossed 281 here. Within
Tigers
walking distance.
Went deep 30 times last season. Not sure how many of those were at home, but plenty of business being generated there for the restaurant.
A little bit known as a pitcher's park or a hitter's park here at Trinity. So somebody had done some work early on in the season. They basically took everybody's home and away stats all throughout Division 3. And they worked it to where they tried to figure out the statistical differences between how players overall hit between home and away. And from that, they were able to derive just a slight edge to whether or not this was a pitcher's park or a hitter's park. And the old stadium here coming just as a hitter's park, and that's really not a surprise. It's 310 down the left field line, 318 down the right, 400 to center field, 365 into the alleys. And, you know, it kind of just, I mean, this is not a perfectly symmetrical ballpark. It's close, but it's shaved around to the surroundings that we have here. Vonahar out in front of that one. Ball in the dirt, so I'll have to throw over. Hunt to Wise for the putout. And we got one down here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's even more impressive that Vanderar was able to go deep today as the flags are blowing in. So he got really behind that last one. Less successful trip this time, but I think the way the wind behaves also a factor in how any stadium plays.
Well, with one down, Logan Morrison, 1 for 2 will step up. Had a single in his last at-bat, and that was the shot at Grenier that Grenier could not come up with. And Morrison, the speedy second baseman, getting the base hit. Shirley still dealing. And that one makes it 0-2.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in Shirley's first appearance of the season, went 4 1/3. So he's matched that now, looking to go past it. And with that swing, looks like he's done so as he's retired the Tigers' number 19 there, Morrison. So it'll be Jake Martin now after we get a conversation with the pitcher. We'll see. He's now gone past that last start in terms of length. Could be it for him. There is action up in the bullpen in front of us. Not much.
Yeah, a couple of the trainers coming out, or the Trinity trainer coming out to take a look at Hunt, make sure he's okay. It looks like he is. So, Jake Martin, the Oklahoma native. You know, pretty much what we were saying earlier about the Tigers grabbing a lot of players from the West. You could just say not Texas. It's historically been that way. They've got a few more Texans on the roster, but typically recruiting from out of state.
Yeah, it's certainly less than half, which is definitely an anomaly at the Division III level when a lot of recruiting is done more locally. With a program like Trinity that has the pull of a fairly recent national championship, excellent facilities, and, you know, a long-tenured head coach that has success, you're able to extend that reach recruiting-wise. Certainly taking advantage of that and filling out the roster.
Martin behind 0-2.
All that not to mention the school itself that frequently comes in, you know, at the top of all these national rankings in the West, liberal arts schools, etc. It's a draw all on its own.
Martin floats that one, but it's easy play for Stedman out in right field. And the Tigers are retired in order here in the bottom of the fourth. So we had all that scoring in the first 3 runs, and then the last 3 half-inning frames, we've come up empty. Tiger fans hopes that that'll stay true for one more half inning, but Birmingham Southern will be back up looking to strike when we return. Brian Williams to lead us off here, top of the 5th inning. This center fielder for the Panthers going up against Corey Cater. First pitch, missing for a ball.
Williams digs in there to the right-handed batter's box with those gold cleats. Certainly the flashy number there for the center fielder.
It's a good look with those yellow uniforms for Birmingham Southern.
Williams has reached base once with the walk, and he came up in the 3rd. Believe that was a leadoff walk as well for him.
After the 2-0 count, he takes for a strike. So Cater trying to come back into his own after a 6-pitch inning in the 4th, his first full body of work, and catches that one for a strike. And that one missing a little high to Williams. Apologies on the name there. The stats program that we have only brings in a certain number of characters for these guys. And the Birmingham roster going with the first and last names together, which can be very nice, but also limits the amount of characters available and cut off the last 2 letters there for Williams. Get a good look at those cleats there. Cater comes set, and that one fouled off, and Tucker unable to hold on, so Williams stays alive.
Yeah, we've seen a few glimpses at Tucker behind the plate. Some difficulties transferring to the throwing hand. Of course, he's not traditionally the Tigers catcher, just filling in behind the dish today. So don't expect anything crazy from him. But unfortunately, there he couldn't hold on.
And Williams stays alive. And that one roped down the line in right field. Williams will try to turn it into a double. So he makes the turn. Martin trying to bring it in. Williams going for 3. Now they're going to throw back to second, and Williams is going to be thrown out. And it'll go down as a double for Brian Williams. And Jake Martin able to throw the relay in. And good luck to our statistician. Hope she was paying attention on that relay, because I've already lost track.
Yeah, and that's a shame for the center fielder as he throws the helmet aside in the dugout there. He worked a great at bat, 3-2, had a couple foul off, and then he hit a gapper there. And really, if he just pulls the brakes up at second, that's all you can ask for from a leadoff hitter. And he just spoiled it there for himself.
So I'll bring up Toner. And Will Toner, single and a strikeout. He's 1 for 2 on the day. You know, they say never make the final out at third base. I'd say never make the first out trying to take a double into a triple, getting tagged back at second. That one have a lot of momentum building for the inning, and then all of a sudden it's all completely gone. It's just one out here in the inning, and Cater can just sort of relax and work easily now. Cater spikes that one short of the plate.
Yeah, 2 straight there. Didn't quite reach Tucker's glove.
Two and two. Count with 1 down for Toner. Misses. Now the count runs full.
Second straight full count for Cater on the mound. And that one also comes in below the strike zone, so he loses a 0-2 count there to a walk. It's unfortunate for the sophomore native, and he'll get a talking to at the very least. Don't see any action in the Tiger bullpen from here. Oh, this will probably just be a talking to there.
See the infielders coming together as well.
Real difference in stature there, as Cater stands at 6'5", as well as being on the mound. Dwarfs both his coach and his catcher.
Well, you had Metz out in the foreground, and I think he was taller than Coach Scannell as well, just from the foreground spot. So yeah, Coach Scannell up on top of that hill, not getting any favors when you got a third baseman who's towering over everybody, and you've got a pitcher who, let's just say, very odd couple-ish when he goes out there to talk to Cater.
Yeah, and all kinds of height up and down this Tiger roster as well. Multiple players listed 6'4" and above. Just at a glance, no Jose Altuve's out there in the field.
Tyler Wise at the plate, and Will Toner over at first after that walk. Wise on the day had an RBI single, and then he grounded out to Morrison over at second. Takes a big hack, comes up empty. Count now 0-1.
Of course, a lot of time also your height listed on your roster is more a product of how well you can bargain with the person that's taking it than your actual height. If you're wearing your hat, maybe your hair's a bit taller that day, and you're listed at 6'3" instead of 5'11". How'd that happen?
Ball over to Wisniewski, fires to Morrison, and it's a routine 6-4-3 to get us out of the fifth inning. Birmingham Southern didn't do themselves any favors after that double by Williams, getting tagged back out at second. There was a hit, no runs. There was a player, there was one player left. No, excuse me, there were no players left on base after the double play. And we will go to the middle of the game here for 4.5. We're knotted at 3.
Be Tucker here that digs in for the Tigers, member of last week's D3 baseball team of the week across the nation. Went 3 for 4, in that second matchup with Cortland with 5 RBIs. Playing behind the plate here today for the Tigers, hitting .471 on the season is the Houston native. Quickly falls behind in the count, 1-2. Shirley up at 71 pitches here as we enter the bottom of the fifth. And there is action up in the Panther bullpen down in front of us. So we'll see how short the leash is here. Shirley went 4 1/3 in his first appearance. And Tucker goes down swinging there. Good pitch from Shirley, number 73 on the day. And he retires one of the top Tiger hitters. It'll bring up Cardone. Cardone himself struck out last time up in the third. Hit the only pitch he saw in the first out into right field for a single.
Quickly ahead, 0-2. You talked about there was action here in the Panthers bullpen, and it was Oliver Livingston getting stretched out and starting to warm up. And after that first strikeout, he's put the glove under the arm, and now he's just in a holding pattern. I think ideally, if you can have Shirley go 6 innings here, that sets you up for not having to use all of your bullpen. And a cold strike 3 on Cardone. He can't believe it. It'll be 2 down here in the inning.
Shirley getting a lot of swings and misses. That time he got a nice call on the outside corner from the man behind the plate. Yeah, he's mowing through the middle of this Tigers order here in the bottom of the 5th. It's been 5 straight blanks on the scoreboard between the two teams.
K-Ray now up 4 for 8 on the season. Take strike 1. This is the best inning that we've seen from Shirley so far. That one misses.
Looks like he just looked over and saw the man warming up in the bullpen and decided, oh, I want to stay in the game. And he's turned it on to a new level here for the starter down in the 5th.
Yeah, and really now that we're here, if he can escape the 5th with under 85 pitches, that sets him up for the 6th and maybe even the 7th. That one just missing. Hunt trying to frame that one. Did a pretty decent job, but he's not going to get the call. Now 3-1 to Caraway. That'll be a 5-pitch walk. So not what he was looking for. We'll see what happens with Livingston. See if he heads back to the mound over here. He's making his way. So he'll start tossing again, just in case.
Brings up Metz. Reached on a walk after he was retired on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Made a couple good defensive plays since his last appearance at the plate.
That one hangs inside, ball 1. Yeah, so Shirley back, delivering from the stretch. Runner goes, the ball is hit into the air, and it's going to be blooped up into the infield. Grenier will take it, and Shirley leaves the 5th on 84 pitches. See if he comes back out for the 6th, but coming out for the 6th will be the Panthers hitters. We'll join him when we return in just a moment.
with a DH. Tyler Hamill to lead off here for the Panthers. 5, 6, and 7 due up in the top of the 6th. Neither team scored since the Panthers evened the tie up, and that was in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that was when Hamill scored after his RBI single. He came around when Corey Price had that double. That tied the game at 3. Cater. That one's a back up the middle, and that's going to go for a base hit. So Hamill now 2 for 3 on the day.
Base hit for Tyler Hamill.
Showing why he's the one. That's going to be the designated hitter for the Panthers. A couple singles.
Left fielder number 8, Corey Price.
Gives Price another opportunity with Hamill on the base paths.
So the leadoff hitter on for Birmingham Southern. Cater's going to step off. Some instruction coming in from the Tigers dugout there. You maybe have a situation on. Panthers may have decided that they might want to try to start running on Tucker. They had Williams run on him earlier in the game, and he stole second quite easily. Tucker's had a couple of instances where the ball hasn't come cleanly from his glove to his throwing hand. Now Tucker goes out there to chat with Cater. They may be talking more signs as well, which is what they typically want to be doing. Mentioned that big RBI double from Price. Struck out in his first at-bat, though. Try to keep Hamill on, and they throw over, and he's back in under the throw safely. Livingston, the only one warming up in the Panthers bullpen, and he's warming up quite aggressively as if we'll see him out there for the 6th. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. Nobody in the pen for the Tigers. That one scoots away from Tucker, and you don't have to worry about stealing on him. And you can take a pass ball and make your way 90 feet and get in scoring position.
Yeah, looked like that one dropped more than Tucker expected. Came off the shoe cover there.
Cater looks in. So far, every pitcher so far has just taken a sweet extended time from the stretch. Seems like everybody just a little bit too nervous, overthinking with runners on base.
Yeah, certainly changes the approach regardless, both mentally and in the way that you go about things.
Nice breaking ball from Cater. Now 2-1.
It's been a successful weekend overall in Tiger Athletics as the baseball team looks to finish that one up. Both basketball teams winning last night on senior night, and they'll be headed to the SCAC tournament. The girls clinched the regular season title with that win over Dallas, as this one's hit out into left field. He's dealing with the sun, but it was Von der Haar able to make the catch. And in addition to that, the swimming and diving teams also competed in the SCAC meet, and it was the women who clinched their 16th straight title, men coming in second place. So the baseball team here just looking to finish off a very successful weekend overall for athletics here on campus.
Yeah, Trinity's women's basketball team getting that overall top seed in the tournament. Head coach Cameron Hill in his 7th year. He's won 20 games in each of his seasons. Rather impressive mark.
And it was great to see last night on senior night, Rachel Chavez and Jackie Ling, the two seniors for the team, both hit 20 points. And they've been, more role players, off the bench players throughout the season, but getting heavy minutes, they were able to produce and front of their home crowd, perhaps for the last time.
Yeah, always bittersweet days on senior days. Preston Munns, the third baseman. He ropes that one foul.
Yeah, plenty of key senior contributors on this Tiger roster as well. John Tucker behind the plate, one of the most notable, who's coming in off of a extremely successful junior season. Hit .340 last year with 32 RBIs, led the team with 15 doubles as well. And he's come out hot, hitting around 500 in these first couple games.
Good backhand there on the slider that sort of got away there from Cater. The count now 2-2 to Munns. Cater already up to 31 pitches. He worked quickly, but he's kind of, wouldn't say he's hit a wall, but he's definitely slowed down. A little speed bump, if you will.
Yeah, and on the topic of seniors, of course, a couple that the Tigers need to replace coming into the season. They're losing Blake Frampton, who averaged .351 throughout the course of last season. One of their key pitchers as well, Brendan Meyer, started plenty of games for the Tigers as well. Them among many that the Tigers will look to replace in the lineup.
Yeah, and losing guys, always part of the situation here. Get them for 4, maybe 5 years. That's about it. Then you start all over with the next group of guys, and I think that's what makes successful programs just so unique. You know that it's the culture that's really helping propel everything. You go out there, you recruit good players. That one gets away. Well, it was fouled off. They're going to ask if it was swung on. Won't get the call. So it'll go for ball 3.
I think they appealed there to second base umpire. I'm not sure if looks like Trinity head coach Scandal not happy, so they obviously didn't change the call. It looked to me, and I was just looking at the monitor here to my right, that he did try to check the swing, and it either came off of the bat or it could have come off of Tucker.
It definitely scooted away like it hit something. Either way, full count. 1 down, runner at second. Cater and Munns, and well, Munns likes this at bat so much he'll do it again.
Good barehanded play on that grounder down the line from someone over in the Trinity bullpen. Can't quite get a number, but no glove required. Big pitch here for Cater with the full count.
That one popped up on the infield. Morrison calling off, and he'll make the second out of the inning. That'll strand the runner at second for the time being, and Cater now an out away from escaping a leadoff single by Hamill.
And it was a good pitch there from Cater. He got Munns out reaching, which resulted in that pop-up. Easy play for Cardone, the first baseman.
Bring up the catcher, A.J. Hunt. He's grounded out to either side of the second base bag. First pitch misses, ball 1. And you're talking about seniors and programs in general. Our head soccer coach, Paul McGinley, said, good coaches recruit good players. Great coaches recruit great players. And that's really the difference here at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in Division III, it takes a certain something about a coach or a recruiting situation to be able to bring in players when the scholarship money's not on the table, athletically at least. And the appeal of the school and like all those other things we mentioned earlier, the allure of a successful program as well, contributing in that recruiting chase for the top prospects. Today over on the soccer field, an ID clinic being held for the men's team, so things of that nature as well, helping in the process, helping players get in front of the coaches. So there's an intentional walk there issued against Hunt. Brings up Grenier.
Of course, one of the newer rules went into place last year, actually, where you can just basically send the guy over. No longer have to throw the pitches. We'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Alfredo Grenier, and he strokes that one into center, but Meredith perfectly playing that one as he was shaded in. Takes about 4 steps up and catches that one on the fly. And so excellent defensive positioning. We'll get the Tigers out of this one. The Panthers strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 3. So I'm going to go to the bottom of the 6th. Playing the 6th spot, batting 7th for the Tigers, Jack Wisniewski, the shortstop. He looks at strike 1, and we've got a new pitcher here for Birmingham Southern, and it's Oliver Livingston. He was the one warming up that we mentioned earlier. And now even at 1-1 on Wisniewski.
Livingston, the first-year pitcher, listed at 6'3", 180, native of Decatur, Georgia. Appeared in their second matchup with LaGrange as he gets a ground ball here to the first baseman and takes the flip for the first out. In that one, he went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, and 1 run it was earned. So his ERA is at 3.0 early on in the season with 2 strikeouts as well. Brings up Mason Meredith.
Meredith 0 for 1 today, batting .250 on the season. Ahead in the count, 1-0. Meredith did have a sacrifice bunt and then flew out to Stedman over in right field. Takes a big cut at that one. Count now even at 1. Freshman from Decatur, Georgia, deals and skips it in there, but nowhere near the zone. So now 2-1 for Meredith. Mentioned yesterday, Meredith 8 putouts in center field. Had 4 in a row, all of them in the 8th inning, and then started off the 9th. Also had an incredible diving catch in the game. doing his part. He caught the last out of the top of the 6th. Fouls that one back.
Livingston wearing the hard plastic glasses out there, the goggles, similar to an Eric Gagne on the mound, or Reggie Jackson, more famously. Just taking a quick look at the list of bespeckled baseball players on Wikipedia. Did you know, Josh, the only umpire to ever wear glasses in the major leagues? Frank Umont.
Did not know that one. Not completely brushed up on my umpire HQ trivia. Meredith grounds out to Grenier at short. To the 9-hole hitter. And a big reason why we're tied at 3. Jack Vonderhaar. Excuse me, Jake Vonderhaar. Yep.
Had it right the first time there.
There we go. 1 for 2 on the day. Of course, that being the big 2-run bomb into right field. 250 on the season. He's 1 for 4 overall here in 2019.
Yeah, a real key contribution coming in for Tigers' best offensive player over at least the last season, Rafe Chamet. And taking residence out there in Chamet's normal left field position. And it's going to be a drop ball from Williams that's going to allow Vonderhaar into second base. It's certainly going to be an error on the center fielder. Had a base running error earlier on as well. It's a bit of a rough afternoon for him out there.
Yeah, it's a tough play for a center fielder. You're looking straight back into the sun. I'd say most of the error on that one was the casual jog back on that one, and then lost it at the very last second. So Vonderhaar will be on base. Two out here in the 6th. Back to the top of the order with Logan Morrison.
Pitch comes in behind Morrison there. Won't be popular with the senior second baseman.
Morrison starting the season off batting just 200. Livingston taking a very long look in, and finally time will be called.
Native of Temecula, California, hitting 200 in the young season. Would only take one single here if it's well placed to regain the lead for the Tigers, who seem to have left their bats back in the second inning. It was the last time they scored with the 2-run homer. Last time anyone scored was the top of the 3rd in Birmingham Southern Drew level.
Yeah, it's been the left fielders for both teams with pretty big hits. Corey Price for the Panthers, bringing in the 3rd run of the game on an RBI double, and then of course Vonderhaar with the 2-run homer. The Tigers putting it in the hands of their second baseman. And
some more activity up in the Panther bullpen. Looks like that's number 34, Robbie Lively. We saw him come in the 9th of the first matchup and struggle a bit before he was eventually relieved and the save was made. So we'll see if he makes an appearance here. As that's the second one from Livingston that's come in behind Morrison. Seems like he may be losing control. And the check swing there from Morrison results in some contact, as he'll be put out fairly easily at first, and we'll head into the 7th inning here. Score still tied at 3 on the Tiger Network.
Top of the 7th inning, Corey Cater back out there for Trinity. First pitch, called a strike. Cole Studman, right fielder, leading off. He's 1 for 3 in the game. Had a opening pitch single into center field. Since then, he has flown out to right and flown out to center. So getting air under his swings is count now even at 1. Cater up to 43 pitches now. Wouldn't be unsuspecting to see him top out around maybe 65. Tigers have quite a few pitchers that they feel can go middle relief, about 4 innings, maybe do spot starts on Sunday. Still waiting for a couple of guys to come back from injury. Tigers feel like they can go about 12 or 13 deep with their pitchers and still feel pretty confident with whoever they roll out there. Right now they feel like maybe some of their better ones won't be around until March. That one rolled over to Morrison at second. Sends it on to Cardone. There's one away here in the top of the 7th. And then I'll bring up Brian Williams, who doubled in his last at-bat and then got caught rounding second. And was retired to lead off the 5th inning after his double. First pitch over for a strike.
Corey Cater here looking to make 4 innings pitched if he can record another out. Just giving up the 2 hits. One of those which gave up a run, which was not attributed to him. And 2 walks as well.
Yeah, Thomas started the game, went 2 2/3. Gave up 6 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He struck out 4 and walked 1. Faced 15 batters overall. This right here is Cater's 14th batter. And he strikes out Williams for the second out here in the top of the 7th.
Batting third, second baseman, number 15, Will Toner.
That'll take us to Will Toner, the second baseman. Struck out and walked, but in the first inning he had a single up the middle. So 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch swinging, he pops it up. Metz is calling for it, shielding the sun, and he's got it. Cater's worked through the 7th, and we go to the stretch. We're still tied at 3. We'll be back. Welcome to the Great Baseball Dance-Off. Bottom of the 7th inning, Jake Martin coming in. You know, we've had 3 dance-offs here in the 7th inning. I don't think anybody's a winner. They've all been bad.
Certainly no winners in the spectators department there. Bench also taking a beating from the bullpen.
Martin floats that one into right center. Williams giving chase. And just calls off Stedman. They almost collided out there in right. And Martin will be retired. He'll be 2 for 4 on the day. They'll bring up John Tucker. Tucker down to just 409 so far this season. He's 1 for 3 today. Had a single in the first inning. Then a double play and a strikeout. So it started well, and it's gone downhill. Oliver Livingston back out there once again for the Panthers. Now Tucker quickly ahead 2-0. Ugly finder into the Tiger dugout. Found its victim.
I think there's just something about for opposition pitchers when you look at John Tucker digging in. He shows all his teeth. He gives them a nice smile before he usually gets a hit off of him. There's something intimidating about that from the senior catcher. Didn't work this time as he pops out into shallow right field.
Yeah, Will Toner, the second baseman, goes back on that one and does a great job playing the sun. So he's looking straight back into it. And they're 2 down here. Brian Cardone one for 3 on the year. He's done a great job over at first base today. Not that the Tigers are looking for a first baseman. They've got John Tucker, who usually patrols that area. But not a bad defensive option if you have to go to Cardone at some point. Quickly head 2-0 here on the count. Livingston deals a strike. For Birmingham Southern, they wrap up here, and next week on Friday, they will have their home opener against DePaul. That one over to third, and the throw will beat Cardone. A good call by the umpire. And that'll be it for 7 innings of play, and we're still tied at 3. We roll to the 8th, and we'll be back in just a moment. Top of the 8th inning, Tyler Wise, the cleanup hitter for the Panthers, stepping in. He's 1 for 3. RBI single in the first. Then a double play and a ground out the rest of the way. Take strike 1. So I was saying before break, We've got Birmingham Southern coming up with a homestand. The Panthers will be at home next weekend as they host DePaul, North Park, and Thomas More. That one sent past the outstretched reach of MJ Metz into left field. And Wise now 2 for 4 on the day, and that'll bring up Tyler Hamill. As we get into the late innings, all he really needs one run. And having a leadoff man aboard is going to be good for that cause if Hamill can do a job and move him over. Following the homestand next weekend, a big series for the Panthers as they host Wisconsin, Oshkosh, and Adrian, and then Roanoke right after that before they start their SAA play at Millsaps. Millsaps also another good, historically strong team in regional play. Also in the SAA, you've got Rhodes, Hendricks, who's been good at times, Barry, Oglethorpe, Hendricks, Swanee. It's not going to be an easy road for the Panthers. Good, strong schedule. And if they can get quite a few wins, they can make a case, return to the South Regional, maybe get put somewhere else. There's a new format to the playoff structure. As pitching coach Dave Smith will make his way. We'll go to our righty. We'll figure out who it's going to be when we return. And replacing Corey Cater will be Jeff Loneker. Loneker, the senior from here in the state of Texas, and making his first appearance in 2019. Ryan, what did he do in 2018 for us?
Yeah, he was excellent in 2018. His junior year, he had a 1.52 ERA and 47 in a third innings pitched, 4-0 record and 68 strikeouts. Just as I was about to say, a steady arm to bring out of the bullpen here. He can't quite connect with Tucker, and that results in the runner advancing to second. Still nobody gone here in the top of the eighth.
So runner in scoring position now, nobody out. Normally I'd say this would be a bunting situation, but you've got the big hitting Hamill up. He swings and misses, now 2-1.
Yeah, hit himself there as the ball bounced off the plate.
Loneker, one of the harder throwing Tigers. Expect to see him around low 90s. As time is called.
Do you see some of the Tiger baseball freshmen sat directly behind the plate, one of them holding that radar gun, keeping track of Loneker's stats.
And Loneker falling behind now, 3-1. First base is open if they choose. That would put force plays at every bag. Not that that's the strategy Trinity will go for, but not the worst thing if, and now he does, Hamill takes a walk. Corey Price, who's already got a big RBI double, will step in batting 1 for 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a big at-bat here for Price. If the Tigers can retire him, the next two batters yet to register a hit. The bottom of the order hasn't been too productive for either team here. The exception of that 2-run home run earlier from Van der Haar. There is your bunt. Goes right back to Loneker, and he misses his first baseman there. That's going to bring at least 1 run around.
That immediately gets underneath the tarp, so the ground rules will prevent the second run from coming in. Umpire helping the guys out. Martin picks it up. So the error allows the run to score, and that puts Birmingham Southern on top 4-3. So not the situation that Trinity was expecting when they brought in Loneker. But a great job by Corey Price to just drop that one down and make a guy make a play on it. Birmingham Southern not having any more of this tarp issue, the cover for the tarp. They've immediately sent a crew out to throw the cover back off to the side of it so that way a ball can be played if it does that again. See if that works to their advantage or not. Big swing and a miss here on the first pitch from Preston Munns. Third baseman 0 for 3. He's got 2 on in scoring position, and I'd be a little bit eager too if I could correct an 0 for 3 day with just 1 swing. Now 0-2. So he cuts and misses.
Yeah, big situation now for the senior on the mound. He's already given up the lead to the Panthers and a chance for more with the 2 runners in scoring position and nobody gone. And he gets 3 swings here from Munns. Throw down from Tucker is an excellent one, and Cardone brings it in for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's going to be an understated play there from Tucker. Well, what a job as that one scooted out past the apron. Tracked it down, and that's going to be a tough throw because if you sail that one over Cardone's head, that's going to be 2 runs scoring most likely. Does a great job connecting with Cardone, get the out, and now you've got 1 down for A.J. Hunt. Hunt officially 0 for 2 today. 2 groundouts and a walk.
And you can't say enough about that from Tucker. Not used to be on that end of the catcher to first base connection. And he almost tested the tarp rule there if he had gone over Cardone's head. Instead, he gets the out.
That one up around the head of Hunt. Ducks out of the way. 4-3 here, Birmingham Southern. collectively for both teams not the lowest scoring in the game of the series, but Tigers have scored 5 runs in the first 2 games each. Birmingham Southern had 7 and then 0. So right about where we thought that the scoring might be, if you look at the first few. I think the Tigers might have a little bit left in them here when they bat in the 8th and the 9th if they need it. But Birmingham Southern not quite done here, top of the 8th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Their catcher, A.J. Hunt, at the plate. Takes that one, called strike, now 2-1.
Yeah, due up for the Tigers in the bottom of this inning will be Caraway, Metz, and Wisniewski. A bit daunting for the home team. None of them have recorded a hit so far in this matchup. Chance for redemption in the bottom of the inning.
Hunt out in front of that one. Now 2-2 from Lonecker.
Real chance here to give his defense a bit less pressure with the 2 outs. If he can retire Hunt here on the 2-out pitch. Or 2-strike pitch, excuse me.
Skips that one in. Count runs full. Again, first base is open, so if he misses, doesn't bring in a run. It puts a lot of pressure on the Tigers. As the on-deck hitter is the 9-hole hitter, Alfredo Grenier. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Had a single back in the 2nd inning. That one hit right at Metz. He's going to go home with it, and they're going to get Hamill in a pickle, and they say he got in under the tag, and that's going to draw, I believe, a appeal, and the umpires will come and take a look at it. If he's safe, its bases loaded with just 1 down. If this call is overturned, and it is, and it's going to be 2 down with runners on 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, I think it was well executed there. Metz fielded the ground ball, knew immediately that he had the runner in between 3rd and home, and throw to Tucker, got it back, and just got the tag under as Hamill nearly slipped under.
Yeah, and a good job by Tucker and Metz. You think about it, all you're really doing is playing catch. But so many times you see that type of a situation, and the ball is sailed out into the outfield or tossed around. First pitch swinging, that one's going to be lined out right at Jake Martin. And Grenier throws his helmet down in disgust. And Jeff Lonecker, it wasn't conventional, but he got the job done. 1 run does come in on the bunt error throw, but he's able to keep the other 2 stranded. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Tigers looking for a run. We'll be back. So bottom of the 8th inning, Tigers need a run. And up first to see if he can get the job done will be Brandon Caraway. First pitch from Livingston. In there for a strike. Caraway 0 for 1 today, but 4 for 8 on the season. And Tigers aggressive at the plate, and they keep jumping way out in front of these breaking ball and changeups. Now 0-2 from Livingston. Check swing. Did he go? They're going to appeal down to first. They're going to say no. Ends up being anticlimactic, so count will run to 1-2.
Yeah, Caraway certainly confident there that he didn't go. Looked at him like, why are you tagging me?
Good frame there from Hunt, but he's not going to get the call. Now 2-2. Livingston, 29 pitches in. Is activity in the pen. That one fouled off, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Warming up for Birmingham Southern is Paul Williamson, the junior from Mobile, Alabama. Caraway floats that one into left field, slicing down the line and landing about 3 feet foul. And that's unfortunate, as that would have probably been a double for Caraway. Price was giving chase, but he was going to have to play it into the deep corner. Now Caraway will go back and we'll try this 2-2 count once again.
Yeah, it looked like that had quite a bit of slice on it. I think it carried on the fair side of the third base bag, but eventually tailed off.
Comes up empty on that one, and the strikeout for Livingston. There's one down here in the 8th.
Livingston has been excellent since coming in relief. He's faced 8 batters, retired them all. Excuse me. And brings up MJ Metz.
MJ Metz, the first year, struggling a bit early on.
He's going to be pinch hit for, it looks like. Dallas Binder comes in. Number 17.
Bender on the season, batting .200. The senior. Way out in front of that one. Got just a piece of it. Fouled it back.
Yeah, it just seems like the Tiger batter's not making the adjustment. Even Bender coming off the bench swinging way too early.
Another breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Out ahead of that one, and that's going to be over here by us. We'll stay 0-2. Tries to skirt around the zone, comes up empty. Count now. It was 1-2, now 2-2.
We were talking earlier about Birmingham Southern about to go on a homestand. The Tiger team here is, that one's driven out into right field. The diving play is made. Excellent defense there from Cole Stedman. And Dallas Bender will feel a bit hard done by there as he made good contact. Robbed by an excellent diving stop out there in the outfield. And there's 2 down. But as I was saying, we were talking about Birmingham Southern with the homestand. The Tigers' entire season essentially a homestand, with the exception of just 8 games on the roster away from home. Josh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, and one of those non-home games be this Tuesday as the Tigers go up to Belton up I-35, take on Mary Hardin Baylor. First pitch to Wisniewski in for a strike. And next weekend, we'll have it here for you. Tigers face Endicott. Endicott comes in, having made the regional last year. making the trip down to Texas as the count evens at 1. And then in 2 weeks, we'll host Babson. Babson was here a few years ago. Guess they liked what they saw. They're back on our schedule, and they'll be here in San Antonio on March 1st through the 3rd. The week after, welcome the lads from Rochester, New York. And then during spring break, face Milliken. That one past Toner, and Wisniewski will be on. It'll probably go as an error, and Tigers won't care. They've got a runner on. They're going to give it a base hit. They're going to say Toner had to drift too far into the hole to try to make that play. And it'll be Meredith to bat for the Tigers. And now things start to get interesting. If there's a pass ball or a wild pitch, got Wisniewski into scoring position, and then a single would most likely be able to bring him home. So Meredith with a job to do up here at the plate. And today so far, just 0 for 2, batting .235 here on the young season. So the Tigers with just one road game before spring break. That one misses low, now 2-0. Once again, way out in front of it.
Not only does that mean we'll see plenty of baseball here on campus, you'll see plenty of baseball on the Tiger Network. We'll be hosting all of those home games throughout the season, and we hope that correlates to more wins on the Tigers' record. According to Baseball Reference, across the years, teams have a 55% chance of winning at home, as opposed to 50-50 in a neutral site game.
Tigers currently 3-1 here on the season. All those games coming at home. Looking to push it to 4-1. Tigers ranked number 4 in the country by D3Baseball.com. Took 2 games from Cortland, who's ranked number 8. Birmingham Southern not ranked, but from what we've seen so far, I say give them a little bit of time. This is a very solid team. I expect to be up there when the next poll comes out. Unfortunately, the next poll doesn't actually drop for a couple of weeks. And that's due in large part to the fact that even though we're going to play quite a few games over here before March, most of the country still getting their warm-up in. If they get a chance to play, most of them are heading down to Florida during the spring break time. Pitch on the outside corner, now runs the count full. Wisniewski will be off on the pitch. Base hit could send him to third. A double might be able to score him.
Yeah, and in terms of strength of schedule, these games at the start of the season are big for the Tiger team when it comes to potentially NCAA qualification at the end of the year, as the payoff pitch there is outside, and it'll send Wisniewski to second. And Meredith now resides at first. Vonderhaar with a chance to perhaps add to his home run that he had in the second inning. Single here with potential to tie the game up at 4.
So Weisberg out to check on Livingston. I think mostly to see where he's at. The old pat on the shoulder and says go after him. There are 46 pitches. Actually, that's 47 pitches. And runners on first and second. Vonderhaar, of course, with the 2-run homer back in the second inning. That was the last time Tigers scored. They had the lead 3-1. They gave up 2 more in the third. And we didn't see any scoring again until the top of the 8th, when Birmingham Southern brought across the go-ahead run. That's where we stand at 4-3. But it could be Vonderhaar right here with another base hit that puts Tigers back into the game. So Wisniewski at second, Meredith at first, and there's going to be a base hit right in front of Stedman at third, or in right field. Throw comes in. They won't have a play at the plate, Jack Vonderhaar, 3 RBIs today, 2 for 4 overall. And the Tigers have runners at the corner. And what a 2-out rally this has been.
Vanderar continuing to produce here, coming in for Chomet. He's been the most important player offensively, without a doubt, for the Tigers, accounting for 3 out of the 4 runs.
Logan Morrison will be up, but not before we get a pitching change. It'll be Paul Williamson coming into the game. We'll see what the junior from Mobile, Alabama has when we return. Tie game here, bottom of the 8th. Logan Morrison, the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. He's got runners at first and third. Paul Williamson in for the Panthers. First pitch from Williamson is going to be high, ball 1.
Saw Williamson come in the 9th to get the save. Just faced the one batter and struck him out in the 7-5 defeat of the Tigers. This one gets away.
Nice job by Hunt to keep that in front of him. Not only does it keep Meredith over at third, but Vonderhaar, I think, wisely froze up and just returned to first. Him being on second is not inconsequential, but it's more important not to get out trying to take second. Make sure you can get Meredith into score and take the lead. There's a nice pitch from Williamson there. And the count now 2-1. Now, one batter save for Williamson, his only appearance so far. Big swing and a miss from Morrison, the Temecula native. Be staring down his final strike. Senior up in a big spot. Vonderhaar goes. That one's fouled back. I'd say not the worst thing for, if he could do it, Vonderhaar, maybe get caught in a rundown of some sort. And then if Meredith could sneak in and score before they could get the final out on Vonderhaar, Tigers would have the lead. That's not how Tim Scannell plays, so I wouldn't expect to see it. That one hits Morrison. We've got bases loaded.
This won't be the first time that Williamson's been on the mound in a pressure situation with the bases loaded. He came in with the bases loaded in that 9th inning and recorded a strikeout. He'll need to replicate that here if his team's going to stay level. Score at 4-4 currently.
And if you're a Tiger fan, I don't know if there's anything you want more right now. Jake Martin, 2 for 4 on the day, batting .391 on the season. He's got bases loaded. John Tucker on deck. But for Birmingham Southern, it's all about getting Martin out here. Junior pitcher Williamson is a senior hitting Martin. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Nowhere to put him. If you walk him, if you hit him, the Tigers have the lead. Meredith at third, Vonderhaar at second, Morrison at first. The 1-0. Hunt with a good job keeping that in front, now 2-0.
Tigers coming into this 8th inning were 0 for 7, hitting with 2 outs. Since recorded 2 hits, chance here to make it 3. But even a walk, like you said, or a hit batter, pass ball would give the Tigers the lead here.
Wind blowing in from center. That one fouled back, now 2-1.
We've also seen some struggles in the infield with hard hit ground balls. Both the middle infielders had a couple plays where they didn't end up being able to make the play. So just real solid contact here may do the trick for Martin.
It was Martin in pregame who said he didn't like the fact that the wind was blowing in on the sunny day. When asked what he was going to do about it, he said he's just been hitting the ball through the 5-hole. If he can do that here, gives Tigers some breathing room and a save opportunity as we head to the 9th. But he may not even have to take a swing at this one. Williamson behind in the count now, 3-1. And we got time called. Both teams up in their dugout.
Yeah, really ideal situation here for Martin. Pressure's off of him. Pressure's completely on Williamson, the pitcher, with 3 balls and 1 strike.
Probably going to get a pitch that he likes. Takes it swinging, but he pops it up. Grenier at short, tracking, running in, and makes what is probably a difficult catch as he catches that right on the cut line of the grass. And we are tied going to the 9th at 4. And we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Top of the 9th inning. Defensive changes around the infield for Trinity. Going from behind the dish over to third base will be John Tucker. Over at first base coming into the game will be junior first baseman Seth Jones. And going behind the dish will be Michael Goodrich. Jeff Loneker still out there on the mound for the Tigers. Wisniewski and Morrison taking up the middle in the infield at second and short for the Tigers. Outfield remains the same, left to right. Vonderhaar, Meredith, Martin.
Loneker had to sit a while as the Tigers put together that 2-out rally that tied the game. As this one's hit into the gap, but it's going to be taken by Meredith in left center for 1 down. But Lonaker should be bringing some momentum with him here into the 9th inning. He went from throwing away the pitch on the bunt attempt that allowed the run to score to getting 3 straight batters out with runners on second and third and getting out of that jam that he essentially created for himself. So that's 4 straight outs for the senior pitcher.
Brian Williams up after Cole Stedman once again takes first pitch. He finished, or doesn't finish. He's currently 1 for 5 now. And Williams, who's 1 for 3, although he hasn't had a good opportunity, he's struck out looking. He walked, hit the double where he was picked off, and then he walked again. So 2 strikeouts so far, and he's 0-2 to Lonaker. That one misses low, now 1-2. We'll see how the defensive changes work for the Tigers. My guess is that Goodrich came in for Metz and straight switch for Cardone and Seth Jones. But we'll take a look and see how they've altered this lineup. There's a single for Williams up the middle. And with 1 down, Panthers have 1 on. And correction on those changes, it's actually going to be Goodrich in for Cardone. Cardone was due up second in the bottom of the 9th, so that'll put Goodrich into the cleanup spot. And then Seth Jones taking over at first. That makes a little bit more sense, necessitating the change needed for Cardone. Oh. And we're getting word from the dugout that that's not how they're going to switch it. So in the bottom of the 9th, we'll find out who's batting second, and we'll figure it all out from there. It'll either be Seth Jones or it'll be Goodrich. Either way, we're not there. We're top of the 9th, runner on first. Lonaker. And that one fouled back, and it's going to reach the seats.
Either way, it'll be the heart of the order to 3, 4, 5. Due up, starting with John Tucker now positioned defensively out at third base, showing some versatility. Played first throughout the entirety of the first 2 games of this series.
Lonaker looks Williams back a little bit. Sets, delivers. Fouled back again. 2 strikes. Count should be 0-2. Runner on first, 1 down. Well, Toner looks in, fouls one off. Williams was running. Throws back over, and Williams back easily. Wasn't the best throw, but it might be just as effective. The idea may be to keep Williams just slightly hesitated over there at first. You know, 2, that one sent into the air. Meredith stopped, went back, now comes forward, has it. It's 2 down in the inning. Tyler Wise, cleanup hitter, will come to the plate. He's 2 for 4 on the day. And Jan Weisberg, or excuse me, Jan Weisberg, something with the umpire out at second base. Confused about the situation, confusing my speech. So he had something he was interested about. I don't know if it was maybe a batter asking time or what the situation was. Wise, pair of singles and an RBI, 2 for 4. That one will be a stolen base for Williams, and now he's in scoring position.
Yeah, the Panthers there opting to run against Goodrich just into the game.
Well, you presume that your center fielder is probably going to be one of your top 2 fastest players on the team.
Especially when he wears gold shoes, Josh.
And if you've got gold shoes and you're not stealing bases, then you should take the gold shoes off. That one fouled back.
Situation's still the same here for Lonecker. Just has to get the one more out. 2 down. And give the Tigers a chance to walk off in the 9th. And there it is, as he gets the strike swinging on a good breaking ball. And the Tigers will get a chance here going into the bottom of the 9th to take the series, as we are tied up here 4-4 between Birmingham Southern and Trinity University on the Tiger Network. Don't go anywhere. The series here bouncing on a knife's edge as we come into the bottom of the 9th. Teams tied up 4-4 after splitting the series 1-1 so far. It'll be John Tucker, recently moved out to third base to lead off for the Tigers. Also due up number 35, Seth Jones, who came in defensively at first. And he'll be followed by Brandon Caraway. Tigers just needing one to walk off. They walked off on an unconventional play, an error in their first game of the season. That one ended 9-8 against Cortland.
And that one was also with John Tucker up to the plate. Paul Williamson trying to shut down the Tigers here in the 9th. You mentioned he already had a save in game 1 of this series. Count now 3-0. The interesting thing will be if Tucker reaches. That's the game-winning run. Do you pinch run? And we will find out as he walks on 4 pitches. Activity in the bullpen for the Panthers. Warming up is Robbie Lively, junior from Helena, Alabama. Don't know if we're going to see him. Got Seth Jones to the plate.
Lively, of course, struggled in the 9th in the first matchup. Almost gave up that rally before it was Williamson, who's in now. Came in and relieved him and got the save, so we could see the opposite here if they do opt to make the change. It's Jones squaring for bunt. He lays down a beauty down the first base line, and that'll do its job.
Excellent job by Seth Jones. For the average fan, that just looks like somebody just had an out. But that could not have been done more perfectly by Jones. And it puts the runner into scoring position with just one out for Brendan Caraway. Caraway just 0 for 2 today. He's batting .444, 4 for 9 on the season.
Looks like they're going to issue the intentional walk here. We'll see who comes to the plate as Goodrich due up, who came in behind the plate for the Tigers defensively.
Now, mound visit, and it will be Lively coming in. And before we go to break, I have to say, why did you walk a guy to get to Goodrich? We've got the double play situation to get you out of the inning now in effect. So we'll see if Lively can come in and do that, or if Goodrich can help walk off for the Tigers. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back. Still here in the ninth inning. 1 out, 2 on for Michael Goodrich. Tiger Jr. batting just .125 on the season. The everyday catcher getting the rest from the starting lineup today, but he's come in here to hit. Goodrich, an absolute monster season last season. Led the Tigers in home runs. Doesn't need a home run here, just needs to get a good base hit, and that could do the job for the Tigers. Already one walk-off on the season. 3-1 overall. Looking to go 50% of the wins coming in the final at bat. For Lively, misses on the first pitch, 1-0. The sidearm delivery, 6-4, and they'll get Goodrich. We're going to the 10th on the double play from Birmingham Southern. Probably Lively doing the job, and we'll be back in just a moment. Well, we said it was a beautiful day for baseball. Now we go to the 10th. Just extend this one out. Birmingham Southern with a fantastic job getting out of the 9th. It'll be Tyler Hamill batting 5th, designated hitter. He's 2 for 3 on the day, a couple of singles and a walk. Out ahead of that pitch from Loneker, and it is 0-1. Loneker now on his 30th pitch in his relief appearance. He misses outside, evens the count. Big cut there from Hamill, and he comes up empty. Down to his final strike. That one put in play right at Seth Jones. Bobbles it, has time to recover, and he does. Picks it up, tags first, and there's one down. We're talking during the break about the defensive replacements. You've got Goodrich behind the dish. He came in the top of the 9th. And then Seth Jones over there at first base. And not that Cardone was doing a bad job at all, but Seth Jones showing that he's got excellent defensive range. Able to knock that one down, gather himself nicely, and takes care of business there with one down.
Brings up Corey Price, who seems like a long time ago put his team out in front with the RBI double in the 3rd. Brought level, excuse me, there. 3-3. Since then, he has flied out in the 6th.
He's also responsible for that 4th run that came in. He's the one that had the bunt. Loneker sailed off into the tarp. Now he sends that one floating. Meredith going back on it, still retreating, and he finally gathers himself. And he makes it an easy play after a little bit of uncertainty to start. There are 2 down here in the top of the 10th.
Yeah, Meredith out there battling both the sun and the wind, bringing the ball in. Looked like wasn't too much of a factor there, so the flags aren't moving out in center.
So Preston Munn's third baseman, he's 0 for 4 today. First pitch swinging, strike 1. Now Loneker, we're going to see how far Coach Scannell and Coach Smith are willing to run him out there. This is his first appearance of the season. Now up to 37 pitches, now 38.
Yeah, and just running the eye test on his season last year, he averaged about 3 innings. But the one anomaly being at Centenary when he went 9 2/3 and got the win as a starter.
That was a good arm. That one smoked past Wisniewski up the middle, and that'll be a base hit here with 2 down. So a single for Preston Munns. He's now 1 for 5 on the day. A.J. Hunt due up. We'll see if there's going to be a change. And it looks like they're at least going to make a pinch runner, and that'll be number 43 for Birmingham Southern. Oakley Starling, the 5'10 senior outfielder from Brentwood, Tennessee, transfer from LaGrange.
Batting eighth, the catcher number 10, A.J. Hunt.
And then A.J. Hunt will be the batter. Grenier on deck if they can get that far. Yeah, Loneker, a member of that 2016 National Championship team. If you walk around Trinity here, you can see him in most of the celebration shots, wearing number 36 as a first year. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Starling goes. The throw from Goodrich is going to be late, and a stolen base. And now runner in scoring position for the Panthers here. There are still 2 down. Goodrich came up with a pretty decent throw. That one skipped into Wisniewski covering from short. And Starling's pretty solid speed there. I would pretty much guarantee that a single could probably bring him around. That one misses. Count 2-1. Fouled off, and that'll square us up at 2 with 2 down. 4-4 game here in a game 3 of a series that's tied at 1 win apiece. Very strong showing here from Birmingham Southern. And this is exactly why you wanted to put together this type of a schedule if you're Trinity. You are getting what is pretty much playoff baseball throughout the majority of your non-conference season. Then you get into conference. That one's fouled off the left side. Get into conference, and the SCAC, you've got Southwestern, Centenary, and Texas Lutheran, who are always competitive. Let's go along with Dallas Shriner and Austin College. So you look at the bulk of this season, probably looking at about 25 to 30 games against teams that could be considered playoff caliber. This one rolled over to Tucker at third, comes up, fires to Jones at first. We're going to the bottom of the 10th. Tigers still need just 1 run to walk this one off, and we'll see if they can do it here in a few moments. Bottom 10 here for the Tigers. It's going to be Wisniewski, Meredith, and Vonderhaar. Don't need to see all 3. They just need to score 1 run to end this one. Defensive changes. Starling, who came in to pinch run, he'll stay in the game and go to center. And then moving over to third base will be Brian Williams. That's going to be Robbie Lively back out on the mound. He faced 1 batter, got 2 outs with the double play ball to escape a jam in the 9th. Right-handed submariner delivers, and Wisniewski's on board with a leadoff single into center.
Jack Wisniewski.
So Wisniewski now 2 for 4 on the day, and it's scheduled to be Mason Meredith, and it will be. Tigers bunted the last time they got their leadoff man on in the 9th. We'll see if that's still the case here.
Would certainly set up Vonderar, who's on deck, 2 for 4 on the day, had the big home run as well. That set him up with the runner in scoring position. Wouldn't be a bad idea here.
Shows bunt, pulls it back as the ball was low, 1-0. Wisniewski taking about a 7-inch lead off of first base. The bunt laid down by Meredith. And can't get to it as Lively. The Tigers going to have 2 on. They're going to give it a base hit, saying that the combination of Lively coming up slowly and Toner not exactly getting over to the bag to cover in time was going to have Meredith there anyway.
I think it was just an excellent bunt as well. Found a little bit of a gap in the infield. And now it's going to be Vonderar, the hero on the day, has a chance to make it even better here if he can find a third hit. 2 on. Already has 3 RBI. None would be more important than if he can find his 4th.
Washington State native, batting .333 on the season. He's already got 3 RBI today. 2-run homer back in the second. He shows bunt. Brings the corners in and the middle infield on a wheel to first and third. Lively in a bit of a tough spot here. Got out of a similar situation. He had an out in hand already when he entered the game. They try the pickoff play back at second. They sent the wheel in motion. And Vonderhaar, who had a 7-inch lead off of first base, he's extended that to about 12 inches off of second base. He was back in easily. Or excuse me, Wisniewski off of second base. Vonderhaar at the plate. He calls time. We'll sit here and anticipate the conclusion of this one just a touch more. 4 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Birmingham Southern. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Tigers. Lively looks in, the 1-0. And before he can do it, he's going to pull back and check Wisniewski, who now is going to run off of second base. See if he can force anything from Lively. The 1-0 misses, now 2-0. Going back to the wheel play that they tried when they threw back to second on Wisniewski. Had he taken off to third, nobody was there. Williams had run straight in towards home. It would have been a foot race between him and Lively to get to third base.
Yeah, and if he would have had a head start, already being one of the quicker players on the team, I think he would have definitely slid in safe.
The 2-0. Vonderhaar looks at it, and he's got a 3-0 count now.
I think it was just more the aspect of surprise when the third baseman went in. I'm going to take in some real quick thinking.
Bottom 10, nobody out, 2 on for the Tigers. Wisniewski is the winning run. That one called strike.
It was a 3-1 count when the ball was chopped into the shortstop, which resulted in the double play for Lively last time. He needs that and some here with no outs.
That one's going to be taken low for ball 4. The bases are full of Tigers. And it's Lively's game to win or lose. Weisberg's going to go out there to have a moment of conversation. But unless he's having somebody from the field come in to pitch, he's got nobody warming up. We're going to be back to the top of the order. Temecula, California native Logan Morrison for the Tigers. You got that mid-May feel here in mid-February. Birmingham Southern and Trinity. Very competitive match here so far, 4-4. Two teams that did not reach the regional last year, who have, over the last better part of a decade, have just made it routine getting into the NCAA postseason. So the senior batting 1 for 4 today, with a chance to walk it off. There it is. No, that's going to be foul. Got a piece of it, hit it the other way, drove it down the line, and sliced pretty hard foul. Lands about midway down the right field line against the fence. 0-1. And a big cut from Morrison. Morrison, in a strange way, if he can't lift this one out into the outfield to get maybe a sac fly opportunity, as opposed to a ground ball. Actually, a ground ball would force them to actually have to make the play here, so it would be still a good opportunity if he can just get a piece of it.
Yeah, I think anything in play here puts all the pressure on Birmingham Southern to get that force out at home.
Yeah, I'd say in a normal inning, when you're not dealing with a walk-off hit here, you try not to get into a double play, even if it meant scoring a run. But here, if you score the run, you don't have to worry about anything afterward. 1-2 the count. Lively delivers. This one popped up, and this one's coming straight at us. And misses by about 10 feet. So we'll try the 1-2 once again. There's a pitch, swung on, fouled straight back.
Morrison already with 4 swings on the 5 pitches here. Plenty of foul balls. Just needs to straighten one out. And the Tigers will be improving their record here on this Sunday afternoon.
Lively delivers. And the senior doing a job battling. Stays alive.
He gave his bat a kiss there. He looked to give the ball the business end of that bat, as it'll be a 2-strike delivery from Robbie Lively.
Swung on, put into play. It's popped up. That could be the infield fly roll. I didn't see it called, and it was called by the home plate umpire. And that'll be 1 down for Trinity. So Jake Martin back up. Now 2 for 5 on the day. Martin singled in his first 2 at-bats. Then flew out to right field, flew out to center, and he popped up to short in a big spot back in the 8th.
And who better for the Tigers to come up than your 3 senior offensive leaders? It was Morrison who wasn't unable to get the job done. You still got Martin and Tucker, assuming there's no double play. You'd really fancy one of the 3 of them to get a ball in play that would score the 4th run here, or the 5th run for the Tigers.
Yeah, you mentioned the double play. The middle infield playing back now for that double play. Corner infielder still up on front of the grass. Wise actually playing in the grass. Williams playing just at it. The 1-0 misses outside, now 2-0. Outfield still playing in. That's really the only shot that they have. Anything hits a normal outfield spot, it's going to be enough to score a runner on a sac fly. Delivery. That one put into play, and it will be fair ball. Jake Martin with the base hit. Tigers win 5-4, and they take the series 2-1 over Birmingham Southern, and improve to 4-1 overall.
And like we said, it was one of your senior leaders coming up to the plate, and he was able to get a crucial hit to drop down in the corner. And that will take the game and the series for the Tigers as they head into that Tuesday matchup with Mary Hardin Baylor coming up next for them. I'd like to thank you for joining us this weekend on Tiger Network, not just for baseball, basketball as well, as we'll have baseball all season here at live.trinity.edu. The final scoreline, Josh, you got that for us?
Yeah, Jeff Loneker will take the win for the Tigers. He got 3 innings in relief, only gave up 2 hits. And for Jake Martin, he finishes 6 for 3 with an RBI. And we mentioned earlier, Jack Vonderhaar 2 for 4, 3 RBI. Brendan Caraway had a sac fly RBI as well. For Birmingham Southern, 2 RBI for Corey Price. RBI each for Tyler Hamill and Tyler Wise. And taking the loss in this game will be Robbie Lively, who came in and was able to shut the door in the 9th, but then struggled here in the 10th. Tigers able to pick up the win. They move to 4-1. As Ryan mentioned, they will be at Mary Hardin Baylor on Tuesday night. You can check the TrinityTigers.com website to see if there's a link available for the feed from the Crusaders up the road in I-35. For everybody from Birmingham Southern, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the follow. Good luck to Panthers the rest of the way. For our crew all weekend, fabulous job by the student interns. And for Ryan, Chris, Sam McCorder, who called games on Friday and Saturday. For everybody involved with this production, we thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. We'll be back on the air next weekend. Hope to see you then.